Would I rather be granted 3 wishes of my choice 10 years from today, or 1 wish of my choice today? 1 today, 100%. I mean, listen, within 10 years, I'll have whatever I want right now anyway. I think I am great at deciding what it is I want and moving in the direction that I want to go, but it usually does take a long time. It takes many years. And if I had 1 wish that I could get right now, it would probably be, man, okay, there's a selfish wish and then there's a selfless wish. The selfish wish is I would like to have exactly what I want to eat all the time, no matter what. The selfless wish is I really would like people to stop fighting with each other. If I could create a world in which people could kindly communicate what their needs are, everybody, I would be very, very happy and fulfilled. But also, I'd love to eat whatever I want all the time. Hi, I'm Lacey J. I'm an entrepreneur who started a social media agency at age 22. Weird, I know. I've been niching it down and building it up over the last 11 years, and a long 11 years they have been. Being on social media so much is hard on my and my team's mental health, so we work to find routines, balance, and focus on ethics that keep us showing up authentically online. If you manage social media accounts and you feel confused, unfocused, or straight up wackadoo, welcome to the club. We meet here once a week. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am happy to have you here. Today, we are going to be focused on what is working in social media in August of 2022. So let's get to it. First thing that's working really well right now on social media is creating niche-specific Facebook ad audiences, okay? I'm not just talking about like coming up with who your persona is and building an audience based on that. That's a great practice in and of itself. But what I'm talking about is even like post by post that you're trying to promote, creating brand new Facebook ad audiences for each post, okay? This isn't something that's going to take a long time. It just takes some intentionality. I'm going to give a few examples here, okay? One of the clients that we have provides a printer and labeling service for countertop fabricators, countertop manufacturers. And what they want to do is just have their product in all countertop manufacturing locations, basically around the world. So when we get a new customer, we will highlight that customer in a social media post and create a specific ad audience that is around the region that this customer that we're highlighting is as well. So we'll layer both the region and the interests or behavior patterns or demographics so that it's hyper specific, so that the people who are actually seeing that post highlighting that customer maybe even recognize that customer because they're in the same location that they are in, which makes them feel a little bit of FOMO. You know, they're missing out on this product that maybe their competitor is using to gain an advantage. So very niche specific ad audience for each post promotion. Here's another example. We work with a beef jerky company who does partnerships with college sports conferences, okay? So, of course, when we're promoting content, we have normal like meat lovers or snack lover audiences. However, when we've been doing posts that include or highlight or tag these sports conferences, we now have like a layered audience that has the meat lovers, the snack meat lover people, layered with people who are interested in this specific sports conference, okay? What you're noticing, I'm hoping, through these 2 examples is you're trying to hit peak relevancy, okay? If you can create these little micro audience that create peak relevancy when somebody sees that content come through their feed, you can tell it was meant for them. That's what we're trying to accomplish. And that's what creates a level of success that's really measurable and feels really fulfilling when you're using social media ads to promote posts, okay? Another thing that's working really well on social media right now is using services like Statista. Okay, so if you've never gone to Statista before, it's a place where you can get tons of statistics, okay? The statistics range from basically any industry, any demographic. It's amazing what they've compiled and aggregated within that service. So if you're looking for some sort of stat to go along with a post that you're working on, but you don't have the ability to do a research study group to create that stat, there may be something like that already on Statista for you to use. For example, I recently did a post using Statista for Spry, for our social media marketing company. One of the biggest campaigns that we run is this Social Media for Good campaign, and an element of that is having a healthy digital life. And part of having a healthy digital life is being super aware of how much time you're spending on social media and being intentional around it. So I went onto Statista and found a statistic that said the average amount of time that people spend on social media worldwide is 2.4 hours, okay, per day. 2.4 hours, ironically, is 10% of a day, okay? So we were able to create a piece of content that said 10% of your life on average is being spent on social media right now. Showed some of the math in the post content, and that post has actually gotten quite a bit of engagement comparatively to some of our other posts. So, people love numbers and statistics, and if you can use them to kind of prove a point and give something that people can really understand, statistics and numbers do that. They give people something that they can really understand well. So if you're feeling a little stuck and you need some post content ideas, maybe you hop on over to Statista and you find something that aligns with one of your campaigns. See what happens. Maybe you'll get more engagement. Another thing that's working really well on social media right now is asking questions in post content. I usually call this bucket of content simple and engaging, okay? It's content that is really made for community building purposes. If your goal on social media is to drive a bunch of traffic to your website, this campaign isn't it. If your goal is to get a bunch of leads or donations, this simple and engaging campaign is not what you're looking for. If your goal is to build community, people who look forward to your post content coming out, who look forward to engaging with your brand, then this simple and engaging content bucket could do really well for you. It really is as simple as a single question as your post content, okay? One example that I'm going to give for this is the beef jerky company that we've been working with. When we came in, the engagement on posts was very, very low. But we weren't really doing anything in the content to inspire engagement. So we brought up the idea to the content team to start asking some questions and see what happens. Can we get more people commenting if we're asking them a question that requires an answer and a comment back? So one of the questions that we recently asked was, if this bag of beef jerky washed up on an ocean shore, would you eat it? Yes or no? Okay, that little yes or no is a nice little trick to get people to comment as well, if you didn't know. Also, I love to add the comment bubble emoji at the end instead of saying tell us in the comments, because if you didn't know, when you say tell us in the comments in your post content and then you promote it, the social media bots actually tamper down the reach because they don't want you explicitly telling the audience what you want them to do. They want you can infer it. So that's why I like to use the little comment bubble emoji, because I think it infers it without actually trying to explicitly tell people what to do. Anyway, the beef jerky company, the post said, if you found this bag of beef jerky washed up ashore, would you eat it? Yes or no? One of the people commented in and answered, if it was sealed, absolutely, I'm eating that. No problem. No questions asked. Now, the best thing about getting people to comment and answer questions is what can happen after that. Because then we can come back in and answer that comment to create more conversation, which we did. And in this case, the answer was, but what if you had to wrestle a seal to get that bag of beef jerky? In which you can imagine a GIF war back and forth ensued. So when you can get an audience member from just a consumer of content to an engager and get them in and part of the conversation, things change for your social media community in a really, really positive way. So simple and engaging. Start to come up with a list of questions that you can ask that are relevant to your industry and your business or your organization, and start fitting them into your content schedule. Two more things before we wrap up here. First thing, is using layered graphs in reporting, okay? If you're a social media manager, a freelancer, you're part of an agency, whatever you are, you usually have to report on your progress, okay? It's important for the people who are paying for the work to know how it's going. Now, what we've been finding over time at Spry is that a lot of people really need to understand context around numbers in order for it to make a positive impact. So we've been working on this new layered graph that we're going to start putting out in our reports, and here's what's included in it. Over time, so each month we're gathering data about the community size for the brand, the reach for the content, and the number of engagements on the content. Now, instead of having individual graphs for all three, we're creating a layered graph that shows the community size growth, the reach growth, the engagement growth over time in order to provide some context about how those things affect each other. Being able to see the data in this layered way as a social media manager also can show you things about how different data points impact each other, and help you make choices about what you're going to do with your content because of that insight that you're gaining from it. So I would actually be very interested to hear from other social media managers and freelancers what you do for reporting. A lot of our reporting comes from screenshots and from manually getting data from social media platforms, because most of the services that we've tried to use before have not been accurate compared to the information that we're getting straight from the dashboards on the social media platforms. So if you've got a specific way of reporting that you really love and you think would just blow us away and you're super excited to share, I would love to hear about it. The last thing that I want to talk about that's working well on social media right now is authentic stock photography photo shoots. Okay, I cannot say enough about how important it is that you have visual content of your actual people. Okay, you have a business, you have an organization, you need to have photo shoots consistently happening. I mean, even if consistently means twice a year, where you have a photographer come in, you've got a shot list, maybe multiple outfits on that day, and you gather a few hundred really good photos of real people in your organization doing real things that they do every day. We're tired of stock photography on social media. It's so easy to sniff it out, and it's not effective. It's not relatable, and it's not even real or true. So if you have the opportunity to bring a photographer in a couple times a year to get that content that actually makes your social media posts relevant and real to people, it's gonna be changing, life-changing for you, okay? We have clients who did a photo shoot a year ago and we're still using those photos. So again, it doesn't have to be something that's really complicated and really hard. Just get some authentic stock photography of your people in your business doing real things, and that's going to pay major dividends for you in your content creation process. Hey, if you're looking for ways to build your foundational social media strategy skills, we've got a course for that. I worked with Adrian Harvey, who's the lead digital strategist at Spry, has a master's in digital media, and has worked in digital marketing for over 10 years to create this course. The course is called Social Media on Purpose, and it takes all of the lessons we've learned over our combined 24 years in the industry and distills them down into bite-sized lessons for you to enjoy. If you're interested, check it out at thinkspry.com/courses. Also, we're kind of cute and funny if that's important to you. All right, before I send y'all off for the day, some of the closing thoughts I have today are around personality theory, okay? Personality theory is something I really love to learn about and enjoy. So I want you to maybe consider a deep dive into some personality theory. Myers-Briggs is a really great place to start. There's also Enneagram, there's also Colby, there's also Strength Finder. There's tons of these different personality theories. And the reason that I think it's important is anytime that you have an opportunity to reflect on yourself and your own behaviors, you're going to learn a lot, okay? And then if you layer that with the idea that you are often working in team settings, it's so easy for us to get so confused why other people don't do things the way we do them. Maybe especially if you're working in a remote environment or you don't spend a lot of time around each other, it's easy to get into this pattern of thinking that my way is the way. And exploring personality theory within teams is one of the best ways that I've found to alter my own behavior in the way that I interact with others to make it more successful, to have better communication, better understanding between employees and between a team. We recently did this for Spry, and my favorite part about the conversation was just how much laughter there was within it. When people have an opportunity to dive into their own personality and share it openly with others, when we're all doing the same activity, it opens this nice little vulnerability space where everybody can just learn from each other and share openly, and it has great ongoing benefits. We learn about each other, we learn how to treat each other better, we learn how to work with each other better. So give it a try. I'm an ENFJ. If you're curious, some of my strengths are being receptive, reliable, passionate, altruistic, and charismatic. Some of my weaknesses are being unrealistic, overly idealistic, condescending, intense, and a little overly empathetic. So I'd love to know what your letters are from the Myers-Briggs, and if you also think that I'm condescending. All right, have a good day. Talk to you soon. Keep learning. You're going to do great. Bye.
Social Media with Lacey J is brought to you by Spry Social Media Marketing. Edited and produced by Chad Hinman and executive produced by Lacey J. Fott.